Yeah, I think most of the points are covered by my fellow panelists. Couple of points I'd just like to address it out. One, I think the rural part of our country has the least cyber awareness. And sometimes I just, it should not work in the way what I'm telling. But then the weakest part of the people in terms of the finance are there in the rural part. And if these peoples are being affected because of negligence of not having proper cyber security practices in place, I believe that we may land up into a major problem. So I think the rural part of our country, there the cyber hygiene practices, we have been talking about Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. I think the time has come that now we should have Swachh Internet Abhiyan. And I think that should be a mandate that each and every citizen of our country should be aware that how to use the internet in the most secure and safe manner. Point number 2, from the urban sector, it's most of the people, the awareness is there. But it is the industry which is still lacking the better cyber security practices. In fact, many of the industries don't come forward when there is any cyber attack which takes place. The reason could be plenty. One of them could be that they feel that if they go to the law enforcement agency, they will go with one problem, but they will come back with 3 problems. The other thing which comes out is the judicial system, because it takes days, months, years for the final outcome to come. So I think on this part, one of the senior official from the police department from one of the state was talking to me and saying that the police department in our country, they should make a repository. For example, as Bharat just was saying, that he received a call from a XYZ number asking him that, okay, your bank account will be wiped out, so on and so forth. Now these numbers which people are getting to be victimized, if a repository of this data is being made by the police department, and if it is made publicly open to the public, I think that many of the people would be aware of it. Because even these calls are coming, I feel that the government should take a stringent action to ensure that next time no calls should be coming from these numbers. I think that's one of the ways that we could have a cyber safe India, because if the financial economy of the country comes under a turbulence, then I'm sure that we may land ourselves into a big problem. And the last thing, what have been said by all my fellow panelists, and I certainly agree on that, the education system in our country as cyber security should be a mandatory subject right from the 5th standard. In fact, just a few days before, I happened to go to a school for the Parent Teachers Association meeting. And after going up over there, on the 3rd or 4th day, a boy studying in the 9th standard made a YouTube channel, put some photograph of his teachers and tried to tarnish their image. Morning 8:30 the call came. We were able to find out who that boy was. By 12:30 we got hold of that boy, and with him there were 12 more students. But when we were talking to him, he said that it was fun for him. But he was not aware that what he was doing could actually harm the people, the nation, the society as a whole. And finally, I think the government should come with stringent policy. In fact, the data privacy policy has gone out of the corridor. And I think that is something which is extremely bad. I believe there are some hundreds, 81 recommendations or something which have come. So whatever may be the recommendations, but I think the next 3 months, those recommendations have to be implemented. And if that comes in place, then I feel certainly that we are talking about cyber safe India from a practical implementation purpose and just not on a theoretical whitewash means.